All right, if folks could take their seat, we're going to get started. So we're going to get this meeting started. If folks could take their seats, please. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the special meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. We are wonderfully in the San Fernando Valley today. We are back in the Valley. It's so wonderful that we're able to bring back this tradition of having meetings here in the Valley in Councilwoman Padilla's district. Today is Friday, January 31st. Let's get started by calling the roll.
Yes, Mr. President. Blumenfield, Harris-Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Jurado, Lee, McOsker, Nazarian, Padilla, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky, 13 members and a quorum, Mr. President.
Alrighty, so good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos y todas. It is my great honor to welcome all of you today to today's presentation in celebration of Salvadorian American Heritage Day here in the city of Los Angeles, and more specifically, the San Fernando Valley.
And because of that, it has also been an honor of my lifetime to have served under the Biden administration as only one of the few Salvadorian Americans to hold a leadership position, overseeing an enormous amount of grant funding, including disaster recovery, which will be pivotal now that we are facing the emergencies and the disaster recovery that we're going to be engaging in for the very next many, many, many years. So then I also want to be able, and I wouldn't be able to be here without the support of my wife, my family, and my beautiful friends that have been here with me throughout this journey. And I also want to be able to give a special recognition to my fellow Salvadorian American colleagues, many of which are here, that are contributing to the city of Los Angeles, making it livable, sustainable, working on policy, working on legislation, working on programs and implementation, and delivering services, critical services throughout the city of Los Angeles. I want to thank you. And I want to thank everybody here that for also allowing me to speak on behalf of this amazing, wonderful community that is hardworking, dedicated, and continues to contribute to the economy. And while we are facing this uncertain time, that we are standing here together in the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilwoman Padilla, and actually, thank you to the entire City Council for recognizing Salvadoran American Heritage Day. During these critical times when immigrant communities are under attack, it is important more than ever for us to celebrate our diversity. Salvadorans were forced to leave their war-torn country over 4 decades ago. Today, we are acknowledging through this recognition the accomplishment of the 1.5 generation, the 2.0 generation. All the Salvadoran Americans recognized today, which is about 20 of them, all have been here not only partaking in building the American dream, but building the immigrant dream. They have worked serving through public service, from Congress to City Hall. They have developed policies. They have worked to make our city the place it is today. So again, we thank you, Councilmember Padilla, and we thank everybody here for your tireless work that you carry on every day, and so we're so thankful, and this day is to celebrate your work.
Some of the incredible individuals that are in fact the heartbeat of what keeps us running. Thank you all. I love so many of you, and each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, and let's continue to show up for each other and for our community, as sadly, we are only about 3 weeks in. We got a long way to go. I'm counting each day. I'm sure you are as well. But I'm grateful for each and every one of you, because la lucha sigue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
And, I really want to just say I was very moved by many of the comments that were made today, because we are living in a very difficult time right now. And we have to point out the hypocrisy of this federal administration. Because the reason the Salvadoreño diaspora lives here in Los Angeles is because of the same policies that came out of here, the United States. It was them meddling in the politics of El Salvador, their own sovereignty, their own democracy. And folks came here, but they have thrived and they have persevered and have made this city their own. It wasn't, nobody wants to leave their country because they want to leave their family. They do it because out of need. And that part of the Salvadoran community resonates throughout the entire city of Los Angeles. I first experienced it living in South Central with muchos Salvadoreños. As an organizer with Unite Here Local 11, some of our fiercest union leaders, many of them who are here today, are Salvadoreños because they bring that fighting spirit that they learned in their own country and the human cost that it had to come to this country, because it's not an easy journey. And I'm very proud to say that, David, we now have 3 Salvadoreños in City 13. Please raise your hand and be recognized. I see Julia, Carla, and Karen is somewhere around here. Because that fighting spirit, that energy, ese ánimo, they bring it to our council district every single day. When a constituent comes in need because they're being evicted, because they need constituent services, or we're trying to pass policy, they bring that energy to their work every single day. And that can only be found in a community that has had so much hardship, but nevertheless has persevered and has been part of this country. So I want to thank you all for your leadership, for bringing everything into the city, making this city so much better. And as you know, I siempre va a ser un aliado con ustedes, como dicen, al pie del cañón, ¿verdad? So thank you so much for being here. Gracias.
Councilmember Price, followed by Councilmember Jurado.
Thank you, Mr. President. Councilwoman Padilla, thank you for honoring us with this tremendous celebration of friends from El Salvador. This is truly an inspirational moment. I had an opportunity to travel to El Salvador with Jocelyn, and it was a real, and Carlos a couple of years ago, and it was a real life-changing experience, and I just really appreciated it. But the Salvadorians play a significant role in our city, and certainly in CD9. Proud that we've recognized Christian, my district director. Raise your hand, Christian. Christian, raise your hand. Yeah, Christian's here from Team Price. Mike Castillo and Mom are here. Mike? Yeah. And Angelina's not here, but our comps director. And so we just really appreciate the unique contribution that El Salvadorians have played and continue to play, not just in CD9, not just in our city, but in our world. And we appreciate the camaraderie and the fact that we have to work together and that we can be one. So thank you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Councilmember Jurado, followed by Councilmember Hernandez.
I want to thank Councilmember Padilla for putting this all together. I really appreciate it. I've been inspired by Archbishop Monsignor Oscar Romero ever since I was a little girl, learning about him when I was in Catholic school. And one of his, a fighter for social justice, and one of my favorite quotes from him is that peace is a generous, tranquil contribution of all to the good of all. Peace is dynamism, peace is generosity, it is right, and it is duty. And all of you in your public service and what you've been doing every single day, also Clinica Romero, Carlos Vaquero, and all the work that you've been doing with your largest clinic in Boyle Heights, you are living the faith and service that Oscar Romero has talked about and inspires me every single day. So thank you for your service. I know El Salvadorians are resilient, innovative, and imaginative, and I myself am a daughter of immigrants that had to leave a war-torn, authoritarian country and lack of economic opportunity, and that unites us here in LA. I think all of our city council members stand in unity to let you know, with Councilmember Padilla, that we stand with you during these times that are ahead of us. And, I want to say thank you so much. And I also want to give a shout out to our staffer, Jose Romero, who's on staff, wasn't able to join us today, who's holding it down with our constituent services in CD14. So thank you so much for being here, and we celebrate you.
Let's just take a step back. I think all of us in our comments are trying to say that you're with us. We're competing for you, right? That's what the energy is. But that's because of the phenomenal work that you've done across the city, and that the city workers and our mamas and everybody else here, our tios who have been working, are a part of the entire ecosystem of the city. And I think if you ask here, where the best pupusas are, everybody's gonna raise their hand that it's in their district. And so that also goes for culture too. So I really wanna thank you for this presentation. I wanna uplift someone very special to me, my colleague Louis Leyva here, who is one of our representative of our district, represents the Pico Union area, and just has been doing a phenomenal job in bringing the community up, uplifting the culture, connecting the community to the government so that they know what to lean on us for. I am just so grateful that you're on our team. Thank you again, Councilwoman Padilla, for bringing this. Thank you to the community. We are with you. We are here with you to fight with you, para luchar con ustedes. You are me and I am you, and that's what we're fighting for. We can't afford to leave anybody behind. So just know that you can count on us. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all.
I want to thank you, Councilmember Padilla, for reminding us how beautiful and rich the various cultures are in the city of Los Angeles. In CD10, we too are a part of this wonderful culture with contributions and love. And this is what it reminds me of, Jocelyn showing up, being the prettiest girl in the room all the time. All the time, I'm always checking for it. And Edith, being a young girl, starting in government. I've known you for like 10 years or more. And what we see here is this rich tapestry that I talk about all the time of what LA is. And I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate David for telling the real story of walking 2,000 miles to get to a better place so his mother could raise a family in a better space. And that's what LA is all about. And that's what we're going to continue to commit to be about. So thank you for the reminder. Thank you for everybody that came from the corridor for 45 minutes to an hour to come to the Valley to be celebrated. But that's just how important it is. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And the best pupusas are in CD10. Y'all know that. You know that already.
Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, as the son of two immigrants, I think it's an important time, Councilmember Padilla. I just want to thank you to highlight the incredible accomplishments of the immigrant community throughout the city of Los Angeles. We always say here in the city of Los Angeles that our diversity is our strength. And starting with, you know, David Giron, starting as an intern in our office many, many years ago in CD12, to at one point when I took office, 20% of my staff was of El Salvadorian American. Now, I just want to say, a big thank you to the Salvadoran staff, American staff on my staff. Lorena Espinal, my transportation deputy, Mark Martinez, my deputy district director, my comms director, Roger Quintanilla. Not only are you making the city stronger, but especially my office, I see the contributions every day from not only El Salvadorians, but immigrants from around the world that really make up this great city. And I think it's important, and I think you hear the sentiments of everyone around this horseshoe, how important it is for us to make sure that we are not only highlighting the accomplishments, but really trying to do what we can do to help. My office is always been happy. We partner with the Dream Center at Cal State Northridge to make sure that no DACA student at Cal State Northridge, if you cannot afford your DACA application every 2 years, we will find someone to pay for that to make sure that you focus on your studies and not about filing paperwork when you are here, born in this country, fighting for this country, you know, paying taxes in this country, and just Councilman Diaz, thank you so much for your, bringing this and highlighting this incredible community.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've had the pleasure of working with the Salvadoran community for decades. I used to work with Howard Berman, who's the author of TPS, years ago, and that's actually how I got to know Carlos many decades ago. In fact, we went, it's hard to believe, Carlos, it's been 20 years since you and I went to El Salvador together. Even more than that, yeah. We went after the earthquake to bring aid there and to help with democracy building there. And so the connection has been really strong for all those years. And the Salvadoran community is such a part of the Los Angeles community. You cannot say Los Angeles without saying this El Salvador, because the two are inextricably linked.
Okay, who said that? Was that you, Mr. Pumpkinhead?
So I'm going to ask you to begin your public comment on the agenda items, or you will forfeit your speaking time.
Shut up! Looking here on the smoking scan, baby changing stations, smoking scan told me to say to you in a public restroom, they should all have a child's changing bed. After
So
all.
you're speaking to item number 1, which is not open for public comment. Please stick to the items 3 through 15.
Item number 13, asshole. Am I on topic? I guess so. Well, let me step back. Can you hear me still? Regarding the under assault on the controller of the transfer. Hold on. Yeah. These devices help you speak clearly.
We are speaking on the 50 million.
So, Mr. Herman, please do not use the megaphone. We have a microphone that's provided. We have a lot of people who have headphones in, and it could damage their ears. So do not use the megaphone. Use the mic that's been provided. If not, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time.
You've been warned. If you don't put it down, you will be thrown out.
All right, sorry, smoke and scan. Here we go. Regarding the 50 million appropriation funds for safety, goddamn, Rodriguez hasn't done shit for safety. That's why Palisades burned. And these funds are a temporary loan to be repaid. Hey, Buckethead, who's gonna pay for it? I guess not. Connect the dots. 1, 2, 3, fool. That was 13, dumbass. Then, Mr. Attorney, since I'm running out of time, homeless committees. The smoke and scan of the century is here. We need to give the advisors of smoke and scan the opportunity of the oversight. They're the only chasers in Los Angeles and LA County notifying us of our safety. But fucking niggers want us to sleep on the street. Simplify fucking faggots, right? Right? All right. Last item, dick face, with your hand on your mouth as you interrupt me on the mic. Once again, let me step back. I don't want to yell. Waiver. Not this kind of waiver. This kind of waiver. Get the fucking money into the hands of the people that need it the most vulnerable, the disabled, the homeless, and the veterans. 42 U.S.C. 1983. Fuck you!
You're done.
Your time is expired.
Next.
While we're waiting for the next speaker to come up, while it's great to be here in the Valley, it appears that the traveling circus has joined us as well. For those of you who have not watched these meetings before, keep in mind that we have to allow them to speak during during public comment. I suspect that we have another one now. Please bear with us. You have 3 minutes for the items. Go ahead.
Mike Greenspan, UCLA football sucks dick like this one. And if you don't believe me, look at the standings and their W and L record. Now, ho, ho, ho! Yes, 2 weeks to Valentine's Day, and we are all still doing Christmas. Yes, item 11. Boy, who's on the nice list? Why, Edward Henning and Associates and Duckworth Consulting over there. They're only getting a $44,500 contract. Ho, ho, ho. Isn't it nice? It's only our money. What are they doing to justify that money? After all, we're giving money away, and I hate to tell you folks, I got some bad news. In the fires, the Jewish money trees have burned. You can't go out there and pick the money off the money trees anymore. You actually have to tax people, and you have to get money they don't have. Not everybody makes $275,000 like you council members. You guys aren't going to qualify for the free tax prep. But guess what? The people you're squeezing, they think nothing of it. Oh, that's nice. You're eating Padilla. Isn't that nice? Just like Hut was doing earlier.
Mr. Greenspan, which item are you speaking to?
11. And let's go back and look at a couple of other things. Oh, the street banner program in item 10. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Not. I mean, remember the windstorm and all those things blew? Hey, we don't have enough lawsuits against the city. The banner will blow off, it'll hit a car, they can't see, they'll hit other vehicles, and guess what? You're gonna be on the hook. Not this one, but also another one. The one that's going to be with McOsker out there in District 15. That's another stupid idea. Before we go with street banners so windstorms can blow them off, hit car windshields, block the view, hit more cars like you're at the Dodgem Speedway. Yes, really bright, folks. It sucks a dick as far as I'm concerned. I forgot to give my shout out to Smoke and Scan as I tell about all this stuff because, folks, now they've got a beautification project in the Nazarians district. Hey, I know District 2. I've been there. I've been there when there's other districts also, but I haven't moved. And guess what? The stuff to make it beautiful, all they have in his district are these for lease signs. Go up and down Lancashire Boulevard by the Red Line station. For lease, for lease, for lease. It's everything. How can you beautify an area when they're all empty buildings and overpriced luxury apartments that surround them? Yes, folks, it all sucks a dick like this. That's what I think of your stuff.
Next speaker. Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
All items, I guess.
So you have 3 minutes for the items. Go ahead.
Great. I'll begin with item 3. The District NoHo sign district, we're accepting a payment of just over $800,000, $317,000 to be exact. It says that these funds will be used generally for improving the visual environment and use of public open spaces. I just want to know what about the signs are improving the visual environment, because I've spent a lot of time in North Hollywood in the Arts District, and there's a lot of really large digital displays that, in my opinion, are gaudy and really they advertise a lot of things, and I don't really understand how more advertisements, particularly digital ones, are contributing to the visual improvement. I think we'd be better off getting fewer billboards and digital signs everywhere. There's a lot of other ways to improve the visual aspects of that neighborhood, if you ask me. There's a lot of items. I wish I had a little more time to speak, but I guess I'll just go on to item 14. So this is about increasing a contract to a total of $754,515.87 for interim inspector general services for basically consulting. We're getting a development firm to do some consulting. We're using Measure ULA money that's supposed to acquire and create homes that are affordable. But this is just another example of how we're taking lots of money that's supposed to be solving the crisis of the unhoused resident population, and it gets funneled into administrative services and consulting firms. And I don't know why we don't have an internal inspector general service that is employed and works for the public that can be held accountable, that we wouldn't have to pay $750,000 to get. I think with that money, we can just be purchasing existing housing.
I'm sorry, can we pause our time for a second?
Thank you.
Mr. Herman, you have interrupted this speaker multiple times. You've also raised your sign that is well in excess of our sign rule. And that rule is in place, by the way, because there are people behind you who cannot see. This is your first and only formal warning. Do not disrupt this meeting and do not disrupt the speaker. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's all good. For the record, he wasn't bothering me, but a lot of these people who aren't paying attention are. I appreciate your attention, Hugo. So as I was saying, this is just another instance of the money that's supposed to help our unhoused residents being funneled into the hands of consultants and administrators. It's really unhelpful. So then in item 15, speaking of consultants and administrators making a lot of money, we have a lawsuit involving the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority because Cal Matters requested information from them about residents under LAHSA being abused and mistreated, and they didn't think that they should be obligated to provide that information, and now we're tied up in a lawsuit. LAHSA is honestly a failure of an organization, and we need to be doing more to hold them accountable. Thank you.
Next speaker.
John Doe. My whole thing is going to be about 10 seconds. Mr. Blumenfield, you're running a very good meeting. That's from a conservative Republican Trump supporter. I know you're shocked. If you need medical attention, I'll get it for you.
So, Speaker, there is no general public comment today.
Thank you, Counsel.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
Good morning, sir. Item, let's see, 13 and 14, if I may.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items. Go ahead.
And again, those have to do with budget funding for the fire victims, etc. But what I loved was on Wednesday when I watched Miss Hernandez. You represented your community. Oh, don't turn away from me, ma'am. I'm honoring you. To Miss Parks, who fought for her people in her district. You guys were magnificent. I felt stars were born that day. I really look forward to hearing from you folks in the future. To Mr. Soto Martinez, who asked for clarification, I thought, okay, this is good. Maybe we can get somewhere if we clarify
Speaker, I'm going to
what's
ask you to
going on.
connect it more to the items, please.
Sir, this item has to do with the fires. This has to do with the budget. This, please, Mr. City Attorney, and these people are going to make
I
comment
understand,
on
but we have to
these
treat
issues.
everybody equally, so we
Yeah.
need to stick to the agenda
They
items.
are going to
There's no
be dealing
general
with
public
item
comment today.
13 and 14. So I want to see that from my representatives. And then there was the voice of the what do we call him? The lobbyist of the corporate supporter, who stated, "I'm here because I want to make sure everybody is represented." And yet he got a sweetheart deal.
Mr. Candido,
And he
this is
got
your
moved
last
into my
opportunity. Please
neighborhood
stick to the
because he
agenda
got a
items.
sweetheart deal.
You're
He got
welcome to come to another meeting
because
where there's general
somebody
public comment.
gave his other family a sweetheart deal. Turns my Porter Ranch into the
Mr.
slums.
Candido,
So,
you're going to forfeit the rest of your time for not being on topic.
deal with
I'm
item
sorry.
13 and 14.
Put the fucking mic on. I can't hear.
Sir, I'm dealing with issues. And you
Mr.
keep
Herman, congratulations. This is your second warning, and you are now subject to removal from this meeting.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair?
go ahead. Oh, may I finish? I
you
have,
like to have-
17 seconds. 17 seconds. Mr. Blumenfield, you run a great job. Hold
Okay,
my-
1 second. Hold his time. Remove Mr. Herman. You've been warned about using the megaphone and
Mr.
disrupting
Herman,
this
leave me
meeting.
alone.
Then Rule 12, basic decency, get the heck out.
Tell me when I may start. I had 25 seconds, sir.
Okay, could you add another 10 seconds to this clock, please?
Tell me when to start. When do I?
You can wait till this disruption is done, or if you would like to speak over the disruption, that's fine with us too. Please leave faster.
I'll buy you lunch. Cross street. Thank you, Mr. President. Again, you're doing a great job. I've been here for 36 years, February 2nd, and I'm not going anywhere. I don't care what the shit somebody tries to do to me. I'm around. I'm here. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Schreiner. I'm president of the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council. I'm here speaking as an individual. Wanted to speak on item number 12, asking for presentation about information on air quality, which is really important to us as residents of the city to understand what is in the air and how we can protect ourselves. I just also wanted to welcome you to Van Nuys. We're so happy that you're here and having this meeting. And to also mention that I'm one of those people who just can't get downtown to make a 1-minute comment in public, and I do hope that you'll come back here more often and also allow phone comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just want to say thank you all for coming to the Valley. We really appreciate it. My name is Michael Browning, and I'm the immediate past president of the Van Nuys Neighborhood Council. And we really support what's going on in North Hollywood, because anything that is an improvement in North Hollywood is an improvement for the entire valley, especially along the historic Orange Corridor, along the Orange Line, where we're all connected. And I'm also in support of anything that's going to support around the wildfires. We thank our council people here in the valley for working closely with the council and the mayor to protect the valley. We were all there when we saw the flames at the top of the hill, waiting for the evacuation orders and to see how the city came together, including our first responders, LAPD, fire department, and others to save the valley. And we just want to thank all of you for doing that. We're also in support of anything that you can do to support our first responders and to increase the resources that are going to be made available for those who are protecting us in the valley as it relates to fire, as it relates to the air quality in the valley. As you know, we're surrounded by freeways here in the valley, and so our air is probably some of the worst air in the state. Because of those freeways that we're surrounded by. And I do encourage and urge the city council to take the valley in consideration when you're passing these types of policies related to air quality. Thank you. And thank you, Emilda Padilla, for all the work that you're doing here in CD6. And welcome aboard. We love you at the state, and we're glad you're back with us down here in the Valley. Thank you.